Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome to a brand new Fallout 76 news video. Today we have a new blog post from Bethesda taking a look at the major features other than just seasons that are coming in the update next week, Test Your Metal. So let's have a look at all these new bits and pieces that are going to be arriving on Tuesday. Okay, so yeah, we've had a look at some of the stuff with seasons in the last couple of weeks. There's been some information on that, the background of it, and we've had a look at all the rewards as well. So do keep an eye out. I'll put links to all the ins and outs of that up in the corner. But what we've got today is a blog post looking at the other new features coming with the patch, which, as we already know, it's geared towards in-game repeatable content and adding more variety into the activities that we're doing anyway. That's basically the gist of this year's updates, to be fair, the overall overview of it all. But we're taking a look specifically at in-game events for this one, so let's jump in and have a look at this blog post. So, Fallout 76 Inside the Vault, new public events arriving next week. So, we're planning to release Test Your Metal update for Fallout 76 next Tuesday, the 14th of June. So, nearly there already. It's going to bring 3 new public events, a new season, and more to the game. Read on for an overview of the upcoming patch, and stick around to tune into new Season 9 radio plays, and to learn how you can pocket some extra bullion this weekend. So, the Test Your Metal update. Here's a quick look at what's in store for you with the Test Your Metal update next week, including some details to get you started with the new Test Your Metal, Moonshine Jamboree, and Eviction Notice public events, Season 9, and Corpse highlighting. So those are the big sort of tentpole features of it. So, Test Your Metal in the Rust Eagle Arena. The Brotherhood of Steel has uncovered that the Rust Eagles are constructing an army of deadly robots that may soon threaten Appalachia. Join forces with the Gladiators of Steel to find out what the bots are made of by competing in 3 rounds of fierce combat against them inside the Metal Dome in the Savage Divide. Overcome the odds, keep the Gladiators alive, and you may walk away with rare rewards, like plans to craft the new Botsmith armor. So yeah, this is a fun event. It's, as I say, these are geared towards adding a bit more variety into sort of the day-to-day stuff that we're doing in the game, which has been needed for a while, so definitely happy to see this. The new location, the Metal Dome, has actually been kicking around for a while. It's had a bit of an update with the current version of the PTS, so there should be a slightly updated, completed version of it come patch day, which is cool. It's a really cool location. We've got a new faction of Blood Eagles there, the Rust Eagles, who are less aggressive. They're not shooting on sight, which is always cool. But there's clearly still a raider group, and they're building different styles of aggressive bots, sort of retrofitting the various bots that we see in the game. And we have to head down into the Metal Dome and fight them off, which is quite fun. It's a cool little location. It's really well designed. The event is good fun to do as well. Waves of robots. There's a lot of amping up the crowd and different styles and different types of robot to fight, as well as different objectives depending on the round of fighting. Generally, it's keep the Brotherhood of Steel guys alive, kill the robots, but there's a few other little bits and pieces on there as well, and it's quite fun. I've quite enjoyed playing it on the PTS. The rewards, not mind-blowing really. The new armor is fine. I can't massively see it replacing the 2 top tiers of armor that are already in the game, the Secret Service and the Brotherhood Recon. But if you're into a kind of more robot style with some slightly different stats to the currently existing robot armor, then maybe it's an option for you, something you might want to look into, particularly if you're going for that kind of roleplay. There are a few other bits and pieces on the reward list apparently that are also worth picking up, some rare plans that you can currently get elsewhere in the game, but they're quite hard to come by, so there's opportunities to grab some of those as well, which will be quite cool. And of course, regular loot, legendary gear, and treasury notes as well, which there's another opportunity to get that, so that's cool as well. So, join the Moonshine Jamboree! Moonshine Ned is eager to brew a fresh batch of Sunday Brothers' famous Maya Magic Moonshine, but he's missing a key ingredient, acidic gulper venom. Head over to the Sunday Brothers cabin in the Maya to help Ned kick off the annual Moonshine Jamboree, which will attract a horde of curious gulpers to the area. Take down as many gulpers as you can while defending the cabin stills, and collect enough venom for Ned to get started whipping up some Maya magic. If your jamboree is successful, you'll earn some loot, raid a faction reputation, and have a chance to pick up new Gulper Smacker weapon at the end of the event. So yeah, another one that's reasonably fun. It's a defense type thing, this one, sort of defending static objects, the stills. There's a few different bits to it. You've got to collect different items, basically the acidic gulper venom that the gulpers will drop, and drop them in a bathtub. And yeah, it's a fairly simple event. On the PTS it was a little long, but I did see some updates that they were kind of working on the timing of that a little bit, so hopefully that's been improved and should be a bit cooler. The new weapon is okay. It's particularly effective against gulpers, so I suspect it's more useful around this event than anywhere else, which is a bit unfortunate, but basically it's a long-handled paddle. And it's quite fun, but I can't see it being a massively used thing. But on the other hand, greater reputation, plus you also get some moonshine at the end of it as well, Maya Magic Moonshine, which has some buffs on it as well. I think they mostly pertain to, again, the event and the weapon though, so not the best of the events in my opinion, this one. But it's kind of fun to do, and there's some interesting characters around there. And it brings some life to Sunday Brothers Cabin, which otherwise doesn't have a whole lot going on, which is a pity because it's not a bad location. It's got a bit of a redesign as well, which is cool. So, yeah, anyway, you'll be able to see a bit of footage of that now anyway, so hopefully give you an idea of what the event's about. And we have Eviction Notice, which is, in my opinion, probably the coolest event on here, maybe tied with Test Your Metal. It's got a few more interesting rewards on it, which is quite cool as well. So, gear up for Eviction Notice. The settlers at Foundation had begun working to expand their territory by constructing a new settlement in a nearby blast crater. They had even set up a rad scrubber to purge the radiation from the area and make it safe for future residents. So this location's already in the game as well. It's sort of just a little bit north of the monorail tower in Savage Divide. It's not too far away from Foundation. And yeah, it's a big hole in the ground that's got a load of radiation around it at the moment. Obviously, it'll be getting an overhaul as well once the patch goes live on Tuesday. But yeah, it's geared towards this new event, which is quite cool. There's loads of settlers-themed stuff. There's a construction site on the top of the crater that they obviously have been working on prior to being attacked by super mutants. So, everything seemed to be going smoothly until a band of super mutants put a stop to their work and drove the settlers from the crater. Now you must investigate the worksite in the Savage Divide and rid the fledgling settlement of its new inhabitants. This is a challenging public event, so make sure to prepare for a tough fight. They're relatively high-level super mutants, but if there's a decent number of people there, they come in from relatively far out. Yeah, they're fairly tough, but, you know, if you can deal with high-level super mutants, you can deal with this event, basically. Would be my take on that. Remember to defend the rad scrubber and keep it in working order, or else the super mutants will become the least of your worries. Yeah, rad spiking would not be fun, unless, of course, you've got the necessary gear to deal with that. Successfully clear out the crater and you will score some loot, settler faction reputation, and a chance to earn one of 6 unique new 3-star legendary weapons. So yeah, these have their specific items, they're unique legendary items, they only drop from this event, there's 6 of them. They also have unique skins on them that you won't find anywhere else as well. Some of them are quite good, some of them are less good. There's a minigun in there that looks like it'll be an absolute beast if you're into a bloodied heavy gunner build. In particular, there's quite a cool shotgun in there I've had a look at as well. The skin on that's quite nice, so they're going to be kind of fun to have, and even if you're not going to use them, they're definitely going to be cool items to stick on the wall in your camp, so I guess I need to clean my stash box out a little bit. But there's some good stuff in there. The event's quite fun. Again, it's fighting off super mutants and floaters and all that good stuff. So, fairly simple in principle, but a nice settler-themed event that also gives you settler reputation as a reward as well. And, of course, the usual stuff that you get from doing public events too. So, yeah, basically, I've quite enjoyed playing these events. Having a little bit more variety in the pool of public events is welcome. There are supposed to be more public events coming in subsequent updates down the line. I'm guessing the one at the end of the year is the most likely one for that one, if I remember rightly. It's been a while since I looked at the roadmap, so I'm thinking it's probably that one. But, yeah, there'll be more stuff on this front coming, and obviously we've got expeditions coming in probably September, certainly the autumn anyway, that will massively expand that in-game loop with a very large new drop as well that we've covered quite extensively recently, so do check out the videos on that if you want to find out a bit more about it. So, spot your loot more easily with corpse highlights. So, a little quality of life change here that was supposed to be arriving last year at the end of 2021, sort of the Christmas update, but one thing and another, it wasn't working properly back then, so they pushed it back to this update. So the gist of it is, corpses will glow. It's a setting you'll have to choose to have on. It's not on by default, so you'll have to go into settings, find it, and enable it. But that makes sense to me. It means that people who don't want corpses glowing all the time don't have to have them. So, yeah, it's a good balance option, that one. We're introducing a new quality of life update with corpse highlights setting, which will help you find downed enemies more easily. Whether your foes fall in some tall grass or you've sent them flying into nearby rubble, the pulsing yellow highlights on their corpse will keep you from missing out on any of the loot you've earned. Obviously, if you couple this with the area looting that we did get back before Christmas, then it should make finding everything that has dropped particularly easy, which is always handy because sometimes it is kind of annoying when you can't find that body that's just gone AWOL, so it's always a win. But yeah, another feature that is cool to have, not perhaps a life-changing one, but definitely a practical addition, I think. So we have a whole load of stuff here on seasons. Obviously, we've covered that extensively already in the last couple of videos, so do check those out in the corner. And yeah, there's some good stuff on there. There's some okay rewards. There's some less interesting rewards on the season, and the theme around it is quite cool. I've got to admit, I do like that. But they're also putting out more of the radio plays at the same time. They're also coming with this season as well. So if you want to check out the next batch of those, they're up on Bethesda's YouTube channel. You can find them on this blog post, which as per I will link down below as well. So if you want to check that out, get some of the background on the season's theme and the story of the two kids and their family's bodyguard Assaultron who've got stranded on Dread Island, then the option is there for you to do that if you would like to. So that should be quite cool. Yeah, the next couple of chapters are up, and the final two chapters will be going up presumably on update day. It looks like that's the case. Yeah, on Tuesday, so you'll be able to get it then. And obviously they'll be available on the scoreboard as well as turning up on Pirate Radio as well if you want to listen to them in-game too. So that's quite cool. And last on the list of stuff today, we're going to what's happening this weekend, which is another Gold Rush weekend. So extra treasury notes. You can turn in twice as many at the gold press machines, get double the gold bullion. So if you've racked up a decent number, you should be able to do that. See, that'll get slightly more interesting when this patch has actually gone live, so the next time Gold Rush rolls around, because we'll have some more events to grind out that add a little bit of variety in. So there we go. Obviously, that one is running through from tonight. It should be live by now, and running through until 12 PM on Monday. That's Eastern time. So that, of course, is 5 PM UK time. So yeah, there we go. A couple of cool new events coming with this update. As I say, we've already kind of touched on them before, so if you do want to look at them in a bit more detail than we've got here, get a close-up look at them, then you can have a look at my PTS coverage of it, which is done from a few weeks ago, so just have a little search on the YouTube channel for that one and you'll be able to find them. But I'll link some of that stuff down, and you've seen a bit of footage now as well, so I quite enjoyed these events. They're quite fun to do. I think the rewards are a bit meh in some cases. Eviction Notice has got some decent ones, and the fact you can get some of the rarer stuff from Test Your Metal as well is quite cool. But the armour's not particularly amazing, I don't think, from Test Your Metal, and the rewards from Moonshine Jamboree are not particularly impressive either. So hopefully Bethesda will improve that as time goes on. Right now, the starting stuff's not sublime. I think we'll probably go through the rewards from it quite quickly. It's often the problem we have with seasonal events. People grind them out like crazy, get all the rewards first time round, and then when the event comes back, Bethesda are having a hard time keeping up with us. So hopefully they will be adding things to this as time goes on. But, I mean, they do that for other things as well, so fingers crossed that will be something that continues going on. But that is the one big concern I do have with this. But either way, at least it'll be fun to get some new events to jump into and get some sort of different activities to engage with. And obviously the rest of the updates this year are geared towards doing basically that principle, giving us more things to do and more variety of things to do as well. I know there's quite a few people out there who are disappointed not to see story-type updates, but we've known there weren't going to be any this year since the roadmap came out. The whole thing's geared towards in-game loop, really. So it is what it is. My guess on that front would be that next year we'll see it flip the other way and it'll be story-heavy. I would imagine they're probably already working on that stuff over behind the scenes at Bethesda. But that's my guess for the way this is going to go. Either way, the in-game loop is something we've been asking for improvements and new stuff to be added to for a long time, so stuff like this is relatively smaller. Obviously Expeditions is the big thing coming in the autumn, and then as for Nuka World on Tour rather, which is the final update of the year, that I'm curious about. I think the last few months of the year is probably going to be quite busy with seasonal events and sort of weekend events, plus everything going on with this, what seems to be a seasonal event with Nuka World on Tour, but it's kind of hard to tell at this stage. We haven't got a vast amount of information about it, so it'll be interesting to see as the summer goes on and the autumn rolls around what they've got lined up there, because there's a lot of potentially interesting stuff. We know there's a new world boss type thing coming in with that, so a really big boss type enemy, probably on par with, say, the Scorchbeast Queen or Earl. So I mean, I'm speculating there, but fingers crossed, more of that sort of stuff will be cool as well. But yeah, lots to look forward to in terms of the endgame loop, and then, of course, hopefully, and I would imagine this will be the case, story stuff will start arriving again next year, because, yeah, team's only so big, they've got a lot of areas of the game that we all want to see updated and added to and developed, and they can only do so many things at once, so it is what it is. But on that note, I hope you found this useful and informative. Got a little bit of insight into what's coming on Tuesday. Obviously, I'll dive into the patch notes there, because there'll be a load of bug fixes and stuff to talk about as well. Obviously, they don't share that until the patch notes roll around. So we'll cover that one on Tuesday, so do watch out for that one, notification bell and all that good stuff, so you know when I upload. Yeah, if you did find this useful and informative, please do drop subs and likes. I very much appreciate it. It really helps out. If you get a chance, of course, do check down below the video for social media links, merch store, channel memberships as well, and all that good stuff. All the buttons down there that really, really help out and make a massive difference. So huge thank yous to everybody who's done that already. And do join us for live streams as well. We are, of course, playing 76, working on a challenge run at the moment, though we'll split the time between the challenge run and working on seasons and challenges and stuff on adventure mode once this update goes live. And we're working our way through the latter stages now of Mass Effect 3, and we're probably going to move on to Doom Eternal afterwards. So lots of fun stuff to jump in on the streams as well if you're interested in that. I would love to have you join us. It'd be good fun. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.